Katy Abram.
How about that? Okay, great. It's wonderful to see everybody out here. It's funny to hear myself described like that. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm certainly nobody special. Over the years, I've slowly started to wake up. And I don't know how many other of you have been in that situation. The past year, I've never been to tea parties, I've never been to rallies, I've certainly never spoken to Senator Spector until last August. Back on September 11th, 2001, that was the day that I woke up. We saw our country crumbling around us, and I was really scared. I didn't know what was happening. I had been in a political slumber for years and years. I didn't really care what was going on, to be honest with you. But soon I opened my eyes and started to watch what was going on around me. And over the past couple years, I'd wake up a little bit from my political slumber, and I'd see what was going on, whether it was the election of John Kerry and President Bush. I was awake for that. I saw another stuffed shirt in John Kerry as he was walking around in his untarnished Carhartt. I just didn't see real people running for office. So a few months ago, actually in March of last year, I finally had enough of it. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm a big Glenn Beck fan. I don't know if anybody else here is a big Glenn Beck fan. I love him. And I'm not ashamed to say that, but last year I had watched him, and he had said that he was going to be having a special program on about we surround them, that there are more of us than there are of the liberals and the progressives in this country. Yes. And I thought, you know what, I bet you somebody around here is going to set up a little meeting. Nobody did. So I got a little angry, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to find those people. So I went online and I set up a meeting, and we had over 45 people show up at a pub in my town of Lebanon, which is not a huge place. So I was very happy to have 45 people show up. Our group has grown to over 200 people in Lebanon, which I'm so happy about. After that meeting, we weren't sure what to do. We were still kind of floundering around. We didn't know the ins and outs of politics. And then in July, I received an email from a friend, Jeff Griffith over here, and I also received a card in the mail from Senator Arlen Spector's office that said, come, meet with me. We're having a town hall to talk about health care and some other things. That was the time to act. So, my husband and I got up early in the morning. We went and we stood in line. We were the first ones in line. There were a couple of us there, about 7 o'clock in the morning. And when we were entering into the building, I got lucky number 7 to ask Senator Spector a question. So, number 7 is definitely my lucky number now. As I was listening to the people asking the senator questions, I realized that the questions were great, but they weren't pinpointing exactly what the problem is in this country and with people like Senator Spector. They have forgotten what this is. It's called the Constitution, which amazingly enough was signed right behind me, which is just amazing. It's almost like hallowed ground to me. My question to the senator was this. I said, this isn't about health care. It's not about TARP. It's not about left and right. This is about the systematic dismantling of this country. I'm only 35 years old. I have never been interested in politics. You have awakened the sleeping giant.
Yeah.
My question to him was, what are you going to do to return this country back to what our founders created according to the Constitution? His answer to me was that he has been voting according to the Constitution, and that he has been voting for judicial nominees who don't legislate from the bench. If I'd like to remind him that he voted for Sotomayor, who has said that she legislates from the bench. The problem with the country right now is are people like Senator Spector. I'm sure he's a very nice man, but he's been in office most of my life. There's something wrong with it. We have to stop this now. I will not have my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old be under the tyranny of people like Senator Spector.
That's right.
I will not have it. So I consider myself an accidental activist. This is not something I ever had even aspired of doing. My husband was always the one who was interested in politics, and I would just sit there and shake my head. Okay, honey, okay. Get off your tirade, you're fine. Now I'm the one with the tirade. When I had this town hall meeting happen back in August, I was surrounded by the media right after the town hall was over. I didn't realize the reaction that I had received, not just in my town, but from across the country. And it was very empowering to know that there's so many of us out there. There's so many of us out there. We should be so proud of ourselves, but we still have a lot of work to do. The one thing I wanted back then, when I had people showing up at my house, my husband was mowing the lawn with a gun in his pocket because we didn't know who was going to be showing up at the house next. I had people sending me hate mail, but I also had so much support. I had people sending flowers and cards and saying, thank you for speaking for me. Thank you for speaking for your heart. Thank you for standing up to Senator Spector. The only thing I wanted at that time, I felt alone. I felt very, very alone when everybody was just surrounding me. All I wanted everybody to do was to stand up, because it's easy for them to come after just one person, but they can't come after all of us. So I challenge each and every one of you. It's easy, to come to the rallies and everything, but step outside your comfort zone. Do something